If you want to get her a Newfoundland coffee mug, get her one with the handle on the inside.
Yes.
I love the historical aspect of the show, all the artifacts, but I really love Tesla and the Teslas, and I was wondering if there might be some feedback with the writers and maybe some more Tesla stuff, maybe Tesla and the Bronze Sector kind of stuff.
It's on the T-shirt.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites as well. So my whole T-shirt designs that I'm doing right now are going to kind of be based on the Tesla, at least the first two. So yeah, come by and check it out. And I think so. I think that QX, the people that have reproduced the Farnsworth.
Oh, they're here today.
They're here. And the Farnsworth.
You can get copies of the Farnsworth that I have to tell you are better done. They light up.
They light up.
The little red light, it lights up.
And I'm like, hey, next year we want one.
What's really cool is that the iPhone has finally become a Farnsworth, right? I mean, we got the Farnsworth first, the phone that can do video. It was just awesome. Now they're manufacturing stuff that'll actually work, that looks like that. So it's pretty cool, the artifacts.
And I think they're going to do Teslas as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they are going to reproduce Teslas, yeah.
I know my child is over there going, when can I go to the dealer's room? When can I go to the dealer's room?
Quick question. Who is the cast Joker, and what's the funniest thing that's happened on set?
I didn't. All I heard was who's the cast Joker. What was it?
And what was the funniest thing that's happened on set with that?
Well, casting him. Anybody ever tell me a story about, he already had the role, I was auditioning for the role. This is Eddie at our audition. I'm auditioning, I'm doing a screen test for this role that I was
nervous!
And he already was cast. And we're in the room, and it's being put on video for all the executives. And I don't have a script, and he doesn't have a script. And I say, you sure? You don't have the script? He said, no, I got it, I'm cool. So there's a rhythm to a scene. You go, what's going on? Until it finally reaches, this is where it went. Me, him, me, him, me, him, me. Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, what's that line? Okay, sorry. Eddie, just get the script. It doesn't matter if the camera's supposed to.
I got it.
Okay. Me, him, me, him, me, him, me. What's that line again? So then he finally gets a line. Then we do another scene, and I'm improvising just a little bit, because I had told them I didn't think the character was quite there, and I wanted the opportunity to make him a little differently from the way it was written. Then Eddie starts to kind of take off.
I thought, if you're going to improvise...
Now, a little of it would have been fine. However, he took off in regions that had nothing to do with what I wanted to accomplish. So I had to take him aside and say, you're already cast. No, we have a lot of fun. Here's what goes on a set when you're working this many hours. We all goof around. We try to laugh as much as possible. I love going to the set. We're having a great time. As you know, it's not, the show doesn't take itself that seriously. And we have to let off steam after 15, 16-hour days. And we laugh all day long, We work really, really hard. We have some great stuff that we do. We invented this term of working in front of green screen, which we do about 20% of the time. We call it schmacting, as in acting schmacting. Because, you're working with nothing but green screen, and you're climbing, and you have to pretend, a lot of the time.
There's a giant robot!
So we give each other awards for best schmacting early in the morning, best schmacting horror, best schmacting.
And then Saul has to do what we've called facting.
Yeah. Facting, which is when I have, if there's exposition, they say, how much exposition? This one, well, give it to Rubenek. So I've got to explain stuff, and then we try to figure out, clever ways and inventive ways of getting all this information out. And usually what I do is, Allison, you take these lines. Allison, let's have an argument here about this, so that we can give you the facts without feeling, well, it was boring as hell. So, but there's a lot of exposition on shows like this, just to get you going, you know, and it's, but we're all goof-offs.
Hi, my favorite and everything, but what was y'all's favorite and funniest artifact?
Your favorite and funniest artifact?
From season 1, my favorite artifact was the Spine of Saracen. It was the first time for me since I did Felicity back in the day where I really had to because I played Noel's gay brother on Felicity, and it really kind of made me, question my ability to act. I mean, it forced me to do a lot of work internally. So when I did the Spine of Saracen episode, there was a scene where Pete basically decides to commit suicide in order to save his friends and family and the world. And so that was tough for me. So I would say from season 1, that was my favorite. And then from this season, it would be the Griffin, because we had so much fun doing that. I mean, and watching Joanne do me, I'm like, really? I was like, she had this thing going, I'm like, what? So I'm like a rhesus monkey? So for me, those were mine.
Oh, my favorite artifact. You know, for me, it's not to do with what they. I really am an admirer of how they make these things. And although I don't know if it was about the effect of it, but there was one early on when I got really captured by how these people make these things. There was this compass that was made where in Claudia, the episode Claudia, where her brother is in some kind of other reality, set off by this compass made by Rheticus, who was a student of Copernicus's in real life in the Renaissance times. And they made this $12,000 brass and copper and wood compass that looked like a Renaissance artifact. It was to hold, to look at. They gave it as a present to the writer of that episode, actually. Loved it. And, but it was the most extraordinary looking thing. And I realized how seriously they were taking the show. What's happening?
I don't know. I'm hoping everything's fine. All right, this will be our last question from the floor. Oh, I see.
Are you kidding me? I get to walk in here into a room like this with this many people. I mean, with you guys in here. I'm gonna tweet. I'm going to tweet. I mean, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
After
really
13 years of being on canceled TV shows. Nuts when the billboard came out this year. I was like, hey, did you see the billboard? I had on my phone and I was like, because man, it's a
thrill.
It's a thrill. So, anyway.
Hey guys, just a quick one for all of you really. Just wondering if you could actually have a guest star in any show, past or present, what would it be and why?
If I could be a guest star on a show in the past.
I know mine.
What's yours?
Hawaii 5-0. Just because I want to get back home on a paid vacation.
Hey, you can stay home.
I can stay home.
That's where you're from, ain't it?
It's where I'm from. I just came back from there 2 days ago, so I'm just a greedy girl. I want to go back to Hawaii.
Saul, what about you?
What was my favorite show when I was growing up? It was, I got to do, it was before my time. I'm old, but not this old. I loved The Honeymooners. I loved watching reruns of it. I loved watching that show, but then there was a TV movie for CBS about Jackie Gleason that Brad Garrett starred, and I played his agent. And it was a really well done TV movie, and they recreated the Honeymooners set, and it was brilliantly done. It was really, really cool. If you ever get a chance to find that movie, it's called Gleason, and that was really, really fun. But I love those old shows. I love shows like Your Show of Shows, and I got to play one of the writers. There was a TV movie called Laughter on the 23rd Floor, which is about the writers that did the Sid Caesar show that I did, where I got to play the Mel Brooks character.
Oh, wow.
And that was with Nathan Lane and Victor Garber, and it was recreating that whole world of early TV. And I have to admit that all that early stuff, the George Burns show, which broke the fourth wall, if you ever get a chance to see Burns and Allen, and the kind of things that they were inventing when TV first came out, the kind of adventurous stuff that they were doing, which frankly I think is actually now only being done on cable. I think network TV and cable TV, the tail is wagging the dog. The stuff that's happening on network TV is much safer, not all the time. There's still some great shows on network TV, but not as often. And they don't keep them on the air if they are great, unless the audience comes to it right away.
My show would be Happy Days. Well, when I was a little kid, my parents, I begged my parents to give me this pleather Fonz leather jacket. And it said the Fonz on the lining inside. And I lived on this little street in Maslin, Ohio. And like one car an hour would come by, and I remember I'd go in and do my hair with water and put on a t-shirt and jeans, and I would go out and stand by the road in my Fonz jacket and just wait for a car to come by, and a car would come by and I'd just be like...
Nothing's changed, you're the car.
I wrote to Henry Winkler and said, I love you, the Fonz. I had a poster of the Fonz on my ceiling above my bed when I was a kid. And then 2 years ago or 3 years ago in New York City, my wife Lynn and I got to meet Henry Winkler. And I got to tell him this story. And what a fantastic person he is. Unbelievably generous, great man. So they say never meet your idols, but in this case they were wrong. So Happy Days for me.